Right now I am heading over to Taronga to the new workshop because we have issues with the water jet cutter. You remember the water jet cutter?
That feels good! Baby!
Right, just stopped briefly to get some fuel and some nuts and cranberries. Right, I have just arrived at the workshop. Water jet cutter is running today. It has been running all week. We've been cutting hookup clips, which are... Where's my keys? Oh, over here. Earlier in the week, we were cutting hookup clips, which are basically these little things here. These are the hookup clips. The cutting of those went well. Today we are cutting hang keys. Now the hang keys are this design here. It is a pocket clip to hang onto your pocket to hold your keys. They suspend your keys in your pocket so it doesn't make a hole in your pocket or scratch your iPhone. But I've come over because we are having a bit of a problem. I'll explain it to you. I'm gonna sit down for this. This here is one of the hang key blanks, pretty ugly before we CNC machine it. So what's happening is we'll cut one, we'll cut another one, we'll cut another one, and they all cut fine. And then randomly, this hole in the middle here will be smaller than it should be. And that's really critical because then it won't fit on the CNC fixture to get machined on the CNC mill. It's a frustrating problem because it is the worst kind of problem. And why is it the worst kind of problem? Because it's intermittent, it's random. You know, if it was too small every time, that'd be easy to fix. There'll be, you know, software or some other offset whatever issue. But because it's intermittent, it's a tough one. Now we know a little bit more about the problem because if you take a look here, do you need any of this stuff? So the shape we're cutting in these hang keys is something like that. That's the outside of the hang key there. So randomly, this hole here, the width of it, not the length, but the width of it, it'll vary by like 0.04 or 0.06 of a millimeter. Just tiny, but that's enough to make a difference that we have to throw them away basically. So intermittently that width will be wrong. This length here is always right, never wrong. We've cut, you know, 100, 200, something like that, never wrong. Now, we cut this actually, we cut it, if this is the x-axis and this is the y-axis, we actually cut these something like that. So the x-axis is fine. It's this y-axis that's not good. The y-axis is what's causing the issue. Which, if you take a look here, is this one. So it's this thing here. So this here is what's causing the problem, we think. Not 100% sure. Dad and I have talked about it for a while. We're really not sure. So, gotta keep persevering with this one.
That feels good!
It gets pretty loud in there. The time is 2:43 exactly. My father and I are gonna go and get some lunch just to sort of refresh our brains and, you know, think about the problem away from the environment. That can be a biggie. I don't know about you, but that can like solve a lot of problems when you think about it out with where the problem is actually occurring. Maybe that's just me though.
That feels good!
Right, let's attack this problem again. Right, kind of calling it a day at that. My dad's gonna try a couple more things, but I've got to go back because I'm gonna do something with a jet engine hopefully. I bought a little servo today, so yeah, just frustrating, you know, just trying to... Okay, right, a quick stop along the workshop because I bought this. This is a servo. You know when you get a radio controlled car or something, you know, and like it steers and like goes zzz, 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 zzz. It's basically the little motor. I'll show you.
That feel good.
That's unbelievable. How often do I do something and it actually works? First time. I'm not going to get too used to that though. So you pull the trigger on the controller, this is the throttle. Simple as that. Can't believe it worked first time. I mean, I was just plugging in wires, but usually something goes wrong. I'm not going to get used to it though because, you know, that's probably the exception rather than the rule. So the reason for doing this is that I've got the controller set up, I've got the throttle. There's something else called trim. I think that just gives the throttle a bit of a tweak, like if you push the trim up, it'll like turn this motor slightly, like not motor but servo. So that's what I needed this servo for, was because I need to sort of set up the throttle and the trim. I don't know which button is the trim, I can't tell which button's the trim. This doesn't give me any feedback. But if I've got a servo there and it's going doot doot doot, I will be able to identify exactly what the trim is, hopefully. So what I need to do now is figure out how the trim works. Or like, this isn't a simple device. Like, it's not like a little toy radio controlled car where you're forward, backwards, left and right. No, I mean, look at that. I mean, the buttons alone, 1, 2, 3, 13 buttons. 13 buttons on that, I'm not joking, 13. Fingers crossed it doesn't take me too long to figure out how to get this trim working. Unbelievable, I found it. That's 2 things that have gone well today. I mean, the water jet cutter is still not working and you know, but yeah, work it, like I figured it out. It's this button here. That little silver button, T2. Also, I miscounted earlier, there's not 13 buttons on here, there's 15 buttons. Now, unfortunately, I don't have time to get the jet engine on the go today and test it and try it. Like, I've got to go, I'm running out of time, someone's coming along, got to make dinner. Got to edit this video, but exciting stuff. Might be able to get the jet engine on the go tomorrow, get the cool down phase initiating, and once I've got that, that's it. Like, the jet engine will be, you know, I can just use it whenever without fear of it not cooling down properly, and we can get this jet powered skateboard project on the go. Right, so just back from the workshop. I don't have so much a relevant quote for you today, but I have a very powerful quote. And in my book, power will beat relevancy. Certainly when I give quotes at the end of videos. Anyway, it's by Carlos Castaneda. And he said, nobody is born a warrior, in exactly the same way that nobody is born an average man. We make ourselves into one or the other.